In 1979, Israeli archaeologist Gabriel Barkay discovered a silver amulet in a burial chamber while excavating in Ketef Hinnom, a section of the Hinnom Valley south of Jerusalem's Old City. This contains texts from the Bible's book of Numbers. In Numbers chapter 6, from verse 22 to 27, the priests are instructed to bless the people of Israel with a three-part blessing, known as the priestly blessing or priestly benediction. Speaking to Aaron and his sons, "Thus shall you bless the people of Israel. Say to them, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Thus they shall link my name with the people of Israel, and I will bless them." Numbers chapter 6, from verse 23 to 27. The words of this blessing appears on two small silver amulets discovered in the Hinnom Valley south of Jerusalem's Old City. The amulets date to around 600 BCE, hundreds of years before the oldest known copy of any biblical manuscript was found. Amulets are common throughout the ancient world and are still used today to protect the wearer from spiritual and physical evils. While excavating a burial tomb near Jerusalem in 1979, Gabriel Barkay uncovered the oldest known copy of Old Testament scriptures. The priestly blessing, recorded in Numbers chapter 6 from verse 24 to 26, was discovered on two small silver scrolls dated to the 7th century BC. Professor Barkay, a professor of archaeology at Bar-Ilan University near Tel Aviv, believed this was a discovery of utmost importance. These verses predates the famous Dead Sea Scrolls by approximately 4 centuries. They are the only biblical verses we have from the time of the First Temple period. Barkay spoke of the discovery in an inaugural lecture of the Center for Archaeological Research at New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary in February. These scrolls are significant for the dating of the Old Testament and provide evidence of the antiquity of the Bible. The two silver scrolls were discovered by a team led by Professor Barkay in a rock-hewn burial cave southwest of the ancient city of Jerusalem. The structure of the tomb was of interest to the researcher because it dated to the First Temple period, but it appears that over centuries, looters had taken all the artifacts. The tomb had last been used for storing Turkish army rifles during the Ottoman period. However, the archaeologists discovered that some artifacts had been preserved in a bone repository in a tomb. He explained that when a family member died, he or she was placed on a burial bench in the tomb along with personal items such as vases and jewelry. After the dead body had decayed, the bones were collected and placed in a bone repository located in a separate area of the tomb. The practice is referred to in the Old Testament as being gathered unto his fathers. At some point, a layer of the repository's ceiling broke loose and covered the collected bones and personal items. Barkay said that the piece of ceiling appeared to be nothing more than the repository's floor. An Israeli schoolboy who was helping to clean the repository during excavations accidentally broke through the layer, revealing many bones and artifacts below. The two scrolls were discovered as the team sifted through the items in the repository. After the initial discovery in 1979, scholars had a daunting task of unrolling and deciphering the text. This process took them about 3 years to complete. They had no idea how important the find would be. The archaeologist Barkay said, "It took us 3 years to unroll the larger scroll, and when unrolled, it was covered with very delicately scratched characters. The first word the archaeologists could decipher was Yahweh, sometimes anglicized as Jehovah. This is the name of the Lord in the Hebrew Bible. Until this time, no inscriptions with the name of God had been found in Jerusalem. The larger of the two scrolls was only about 3 inches long when it was unrolled. The smaller scroll was just over 2 inches long. The thin, fragile silver of each scroll was etched with 19 lines of tiny Hebrew scripts. It took years before researchers realized that the inscription was an almost exact representation of the priestly blessing found in the Bible book of Numbers. Careful study reveals that the Hebrew characters used were distinctive of the 7th century BC. In English, the verses read, "The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace." The find is significant because it helps to establish the historicity and the age of the Old Testament scripture. In the late 1800s, German higher critics began to question the date the Pentateuch, which is the first 5 books of the Old Testament, was composed in written form. Many of these critics argued that this section of scriptures was written sometimes after the Babylonian exile. According to Barkay, the discovery of this early biblical inscription is an important part of the argument for an early dating of the Old Testament. He acknowledges that the find does not prove that the Pentateuch was written by the 7th century. However, it is strong evidence for that position as well. He said, "I can at least say that these verses existed in the 7th century, the time of the prophet Jeremiah and the time of King Josiah." So let me know what you think about this in the comment section. For more interesting biblical archaeology stories, please check the playlist displayed here. Remember to subscribe to this channel and enable notification for more interesting videos. Like this video if you like it. Thank you very much for watching.